From the abyss to the finals, the incredible run to the title of the Miami Heat, the most underrated team of all time. Can you believe it? The Miami Heat pulled off one of the craziest comebacks to the finals, and they did it with a team that's not full of superstars. They had 9 undrafted players in the playoffs, and they lost Oladipo and Harrow too, but they still managed to make it to the big show. What's their secret, you ask? It's all about the Heat culture. This team is all about grit, determination, and never giving up. They're the most underrated team of all time, but they proved their doubters wrong and made history. It's nuts, right? From the play-in round, the Miami Heat were considered underdogs every single round during their playoff run, but they still managed to come out on top. Everyone thought the Heat would lose, including in the play-in and in the first playoff round against the Bucks. And during the conference finals against the Boston Celtics, ESPN gave the Miami Heat only a 3% chance of making it to the finals. Can you believe it? But the Heat proved them wrong. So what's their secret? It's all about the Heat culture, baby. When a player joins the team in Miami, they're given a manual called the Heat Code that outlines the behaviors, rules, and goals that they need to follow in order to succeed. It's all about being the hardest working, best conditioned, most professional, unselfish, toughest, nastiest, most disliked, and most prepared team in the NBA. Sounds intense, right? That's because it is. But it's all worth it when you see the amazing results that the Heat have achieved. In the Heat Code, you'll find motivational phrases and lots of photos of the team in action, from tough moments to heated fights, all in the name of defending their teammates and their team. It's a true manifesto of the Heat culture, and it's all about giving your all in every training session and constantly pushing yourself to get better. Because when game time rolls around, you need to be ready to give your absolute best for the win and for the team, no holding back. The Heat culture is one of the strongest and most winning mentalities in the NBA, thanks to the visionary leadership of Pat Riley, one of the most influential figures in basketball history. Dude, Pat Riley is a legend. He has won championships in every decade. He won an NBA championship as a player with the Lakers in 1972, but his real impact on basketball came from his coaching and executive career. He became the coach of the Lakers in the 1981 to 1982 season and immediately won the championship that year, becoming the first coach to do so. Riley and his Lakers, featuring prominent basketball figures such as Magic and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, became one of the deadliest teams ever, famously known as the Showtime Lakers. His stint with the Lakers earned him 4 rings, making him one of the best coaches in the NBA. After the Lakers, he moved to the Knicks, where he focused on the team's defense, turning it into one of the best defensive teams of all time. In 1995, he arrived at the Heat, which became his home. He revolutionized the entire organization, imposing a dress code and regular medical and physical checkups to ensure his players were in perfect shape. Riley laid the foundation for the Heat culture. Step by step, Riley molded the Heat culture. With the Heat, he won a championship in 2006 with the Shaq-Wade duo. Riley's approach and the mentality he imposed were the difference, and his hard work ethic and sacrifice revolutionized the culture at the Heat. In 2008, Riley retired from coaching and decided to only serve as the team's president, identifying an unknown guy as his coaching successor, Mr. No Problem, Erik Spoelstra. Spoelstra is the other pillar of this team, who started as a video coordinator and was totally unknown when he took on the role of head coach. Spoelstra inherited a tough situation to manage. The Heat were a struggling team in rebuilding mode. The turning point came with the arrival of the Big Three in Miami, but their first season ended with a bitter defeat to Dirk Nowitzki's Dallas. James asked Riley for a change on the bench, dissatisfied with Spoelstra's management, but Riley stood firm in his decision and did not back down. After that defeat, Spoelstra revolutionized his game, and the Miami Heat of the following years played without roles, with Wade and LeBron acting as playmakers. Those Heat teams won 2 titles in a row, becoming one of the most incredible teams ever. In 2020, after the departure of the Big Three, Spoelstra managed to bring the Heat back to success, winning the conference finals but failing to win the championship, with a roster without big superstars but with Butler as their leader. Spoelstra's ability is to maximize his players' potential, allowing them to express their talent to the fullest, and he's proving it again this year. What makes these Miami Heat teams so incredible compared to other teams? Well, the roster includes 9 undrafted players, who have been able to showcase their talents thanks to the Heat's system and culture, becoming the protagonists of an extraordinary title run. Their achievement this year is incredible. The Miami Heat qualified for the playoffs in the second round of play-in, beating the Bulls and starting as absolute underdogs. With 9 undrafted players, Spoelstra and the Heat have surprised everyone. Today, some of them are among the most lethal players on the scene and are carrying the team forward. Strus was undrafted and cut by the Celtics after getting injured during a G League game. Many teams would have given up on him with a cruciate ligament injury, but not the Heat, who believed in his shooting ability and offered him a chance for redemption. Strus has definitely repaid their faith and is now in the starting lineup for the finals. The same dynamic applied to Vincent, who suffered the same injury in college. His coach at the time offered him the opportunity to have a career and a secure job as an assistant coach, but Vincent refused. Day after day, he worked and fought to regain his form and carve out his own space in the NBA. With such an attitude, it's not surprising that it was the Heat who believed in him and offered him the long-awaited chance to play in the NBA. Duncan Robinson is a great example of an undrafted player who was able to find success in the NBA. Despite being overlooked by every team in the 2018 draft, Robinson caught the attention of the Miami Heat with his work ethic and training intensity during a workout. He started his professional career with the Heat's G League affiliate and gradually worked his way up to become a key player on the Heat's roster. In 2021, Robinson signed the largest contract ever for an undrafted player, worth a whopping $90 million. His incredible shooting ability and work ethic have made him a valuable asset on the Heat's team. But the most absurd story is definitely that of Caleb Martin. Martin is another example of an undrafted player who overcame the odds to earn his place in the league. Martin was undrafted in 2019, and after being cut by the Charlotte Hornets, he decided to go on tour with his friend J. Cole in 2021. It was J. Cole who put him in touch with the Heat and helped convince them to give him a chance. Martin was invited to a training camp, and well, he must have done pretty well, given that he is now a reference point for the team and playing monstrous playoffs. The Miami Heat's relationship with undrafted players started way back in 2003 with the recruitment of a guy who was left without a team, Udonis Haslem. His intensity and grit during training were unparalleled, to the point where Coach Riley feared he might hurt someone. But his competitiveness earned him a place on the team, and he's held on to it ever since. Nowadays, Haslem is the undisputed leader of the Heat's locker room, playing a crucial role in supporting Spoelstra and becoming a true flag bearer for the team and an idol for fans. If Haslem is the locker room leader, on the field the leader is undoubtedly Jimmy Butler. After years of being unfairly labeled a bad teammate and facing various difficulties in finding a franchise that believed in him, Butler finally arrived in Miami. Here, he took the team as a true leader, without selfishness, always ready to sacrifice himself for his teammates and to do whatever it takes to bring home the win. In short, Jimmy has become the symbol of these underdog Miami Heat. The incredible success of the Heat is a result of a culture, ethic, and vision of the game that is truly unique. They believe in their players and their desire to win and improve with each game. We don't know how these finals will end, but the Heat have given us one of the most impressive runs of all time. What do you think of the Heat? Will they be able to bring home the championship? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like and support Goat of Basket. Thank you for following along. See you next time.